Escape Gaming's turn to pick.
Fourth positions over the past 2 years. You know, Crit and Psy, obviously. In EG, we've seen GRX, I think, was one of the biggest players last year. And definitely has the potential to be so.
DC, well. Misery and Saxa.
Yeah, Misery and Saxa, obviously.
All the NA teams are picking up European 4 and 5 positions.
With good reason.
Yeah.
So we are in the draft. The opening has been done. At Finem will be Dire side. They picked up Shadow Demon and Darkseer, and then Escape Gaming went for the Luna and the Ogre. And the Bounty Hunter and the Bat is banned by Escape together with the Sven. What do you think about these openings so far?
Similar to what we saw at the major qualifier. So we kind of thought maybe Finem would go a different direction, trying a few new things up. Maybe that happens later in the draft, but the first pick Shadow Demon, Escape then kind of picked the Luna with an Ogre. Doesn't seem all too different from Finem. And then they picked the Darkseer because Skylark's other hero, the Bat's been banned out. Those are like his two main heroes, is Bat and Darkseer.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to, right? We've seen a lot of teams run this. Actually, Luna didn't have the biggest win rate. She was almost 50% in the major qualifiers. But I just think with Shadow Demon, there's this peak point in the game where it's just so hard to do anything. We also saw, was it in the NA qualifier? We saw Team Unknown, despite playing up against this Siren Sand-King Warlock combo, they just ran in with the Luna anyways, realizing that while the team fight would be going on in the base of complexity, the Raxes would go down just by the glaives bouncing around, despite hitting heroes and such.
Yeah.
So definitely a combo that you need to be very mindful of.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I love the Shadow Demon against Luna pickup actually. Make it work against her. I'm not a fan of Luna itself.
No?
She doesn't really. She likes to push towers. She doesn't like to fight that much.
You lose a lot to her in pops, don't you?
Probably. Actually, no. In
you
pops,
lose with her when no one's playing Luna.
Yeah, because he tries to fight.
Yeah. Just fight. Yeah.
No, I don't think Luna's not picked up in pops that much.
Yeah.
I think.
No, it's true. It's true.
People prefer to pick Drow Ranger and Slark and Sven and
Bloodseeker Jungle.
Juggernaut. No Bloodseeker. No, please no. Okay, so Escape Gaming, in terms of going for cores or going for maybe even, because for supports that Cinnamon plays, does he play the Ogre or Jeps for the Ogre?
Historically, I think it's been Yapso. That being said, they can obviously both play it.
Yeah.
With all due respect to both the hero and the people playing it, it's not the hardest hero to play.
It's pretty easy. It's kind of like playing Drow, you know. That's I always say about Drow as well. It's like anyone can play a Drow.
Yeah, it's more about like with Ogre especially. It's a lot down to your movement and how to especially maximize his efforts in the very early stages of the game.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be Yapso playing it now that Coddle has been picked up.
The Io pick's kind of cool for Finem because normally they I don't think I've seen much of the Io with Shadow Demon because Spartan will play the Shadow Demon, but he's also the Io player. So I guess I'll put MNT on probably the SD since the Io is the higher.
But they've been overlapping historically as well. Heroes from ever since they started the team basically. Back when they played a lot of Rubik as well, it's been both of their go-to heroes. So it's no surprise. Shadow Demon is one of those heroes that most support players should know regardless of their role. Whereas Wisp is more of a niche hero.
Yeah, your team has a specialist for the Io typically.
Very high skill ceiling, and we saw Spartan with the IO during the qualifiers. It was some great stuff.
Oh yeah,
very flashy play. Talking about flashy play, this is going to be a flashy Timbersaw. This is going to be an offlane Timbersaw. Guys with Timbersaw? Rather than quick for one.
I mean, at this point it could be either really. Like you wait to see what the last two picks are for Finem, because Escape have last pick of the draft. So if anything, they're thinking if we get a good mid matchup, run it mid. If not, run it.
I think it's likely to be an offlane.
Now that the OD is picked up, for sure, I think. Do you want to run a Timbersaw against an OD? Is that?
No, you don't. Definitely don't want to.
And there's not much synergy with the Ogre, like the Bloodletting at Timber. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah, there's probably something we've seen. Syndrome was actually one of the first people to introduce the sniper again. We might see it. It's been picked up against the OD quite a lot. Then again, I think it's potentially a bit too greedy with the lineup they have. Running both the Luna and the Sniper. That being said, it's a lot of tower pushing.
Yeah.
And there's a severe lack of AoE outside of the Darkseer right now on Finem, so that team fighting will have to be bound together with this last pick, which is
with
that'll be
Dara's hero.
the carry. So
Yeah.
it's
10 seconds
And
remaining.
Sven's already banned out. He would have
Escape
been
might
great.
actually be able to push them down pretty.
5 seconds remaining.
Would you wanna? Which core from Adara would you look for here? Is it like?
Reserve time.
Is it a Juggernaut?
Something that can go with the
Here?
Darks here. Like, fighting style carry would be good, but Ursa gets taken out.
Yeah.
Sven's taken out.
Yeah, some good
Sure.
bans right now from Escape.
What are your tiny, your classic Iopan is still available, but
That's true.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut's still in the pool. I like your hat, Gods, by the way. And the zoom up, it's pretty.
It is pretty.
It's a life stealer. How could I forget
Right.
about that hero?
Classic,
Gaming's turn to pick.
Alchemist was the last ban as well.
I don't think Lifestealer is particularly good against anything on Escape right now. But it is an all around just solid hero in this meta, and something a lot of
10
teams
seconds
use.
remaining.
Obviously, it's pretty interesting mechanics with the Wisp that they can go 3 people
5
rather than just 2 in the relocate ganks.
Reserve time.
Get the Accept, but then you go 4. Can
Right.
you go 4?
Yeah.
The Assimilate, whatever it is.
So, in terms of heroes that lane against
5
OD,
seconds remaining.
obviously still have Razor in the pool. That was a Dragonite though, instead. What do you make of that?
Just pretty safe mid laner. Doesn't lose his lane hard. He's not
No, he
gonna win
doesn't.
it,
But it's a pretty tough game for him, regardless. Though, just because both OD and Lifestealer, he has a high armor, but it's still two heroes that on paper should be pretty decent up against a Dragonite. And then you have the Demonic Purge. It's really a big killer of such a hero. So
Okay. Who do you think is going to win? How did you see the draft?
I actually prefer Escapes with proper execution
Okay.
and a slight early game lead if they can manage to play around the Wisp, not get ganged out too much and so forth. I think they'll be able to capitalize on their own lead through tower pushing because they are not likely to lose towers themselves.
10
I'm actually going to agree. I think
seconds
the DK plus Luna is actually just going to take towers really fast. They don't have
And they
good
have
deep
couple
push.
to easily deep push and there's only a Shadow Demon really because Iron Shell doesn't do anything and that's been with this particular lineup.
Well, I don't really want to go up against 2 experts.
Do it, Shiva.
Do it.
But
Challenge
I
us.
think at Finn, Greeks,
They won the qualifiers.
I'll be fogged in this one. I probably would have said go Greeks.
I think he's like more Peruvian than he's Greek.
Go Greeks! Let's head it over to our commentators, which is, by the way, you, because you're going to run, and Odie Pixel. We'll see you after the game.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dream League casting desk. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with God's Words to take you through the first series of the day. It is, of course, Escape Gaming going up against Finem. The game starts, so let's get ourselves into it. And, well, we've already kind of heard your opinions on the draft over the board, but I'll wait a second before I ask you for any further things, because Finem, they're losing a hero. MNT up top, ganked and taken down by the 5-man of Escape Gaming. So, yeah, Gods, what are you looking forward to seeing this game from these drafts?
Good start for Escape. I want to see some good fighting because Escape going to be looking to be pushing down lots of towers. I hope Adfinem take the approach. Let's just fight, go for kills, forget about trying to trade towers or trade for farm. I want to see them just full on 5-man defend those towers and try and take on the Luna plus DK.
Well, in terms of lanes, it does look like Escape Gaming are going to be running their tri-lane aggressively with the Luna, like we see a lot of teams kind of prefer to do, and put it head-to-head with what looks to be indeed just the safe lane tri-lane at the moment from Adfinem, having the SD, the Lifestealer, and Spartan, I guess, for the time being, he will hang around mid. See that Thug gets a good start up against Qualifier, which I guess you'd imagine the OD would have anyway, so I guess it's just Adfinem looking to entirely bully Qualifier out of this lane, or what's the plan?
DK should do alright against the challenges getting that level 2 already. You can see Qualifier is trying to just chase away the IO. He's not really missing much XP or CS since the wave's about to push out, so Qualifier, if anything, is going to do just fine despite this being a dual lane. I think the plan is more like for Adfinem, it's like where else is the IO going to go? He's not going to be able to help against a tri lane. Darkseid wants solo XP. There's no other real place for the IO to be, so the most helpful place he can find himself is that mid lane.
What's the deal with this lane down bottom? This Timbersaw versus Darkseer matchup. Is there expected to be an edge either way here?
It's Darkseer favored, definitely. But Escape willingly gave Timbersaw a bit of a tough 1v1 matchup just because they want to try and win the off lane and even slightly win mid with the Ogre's presence. So they've actually rotated Ogre in to try and help out Quaker as much as possible. And Timbersaw should do well enough against the Darkseer. It's not too big a deal.
CS-wise in the mid, 7 for 2 on Thug, 7 for 0 on Quaker, so it's relatively close indeed, but the backup Quaker receives from Ogre's rotations. Yep, so doing his best indeed, as you said, just to help out against this IO OD lane. And up on top, Luna at the moment 12 for 1, and in comparison to the Lifestealer 6 for 0, so Era certainly having the better time here up against Madara at the moment with this aggression that they're running. In fact, well, 2 minutes in, looking towards the top rune spot where we're going to see a bit of a fight kick-off. They're trying to go in onto MNT, but they do have the 3-man here of Finem. Thug coming across as well, quite for just manning up and smacking into them here with the sword. And it looks like they're trying to take down Yapzor, but with Sin there as well, Spartan has to be relatively careful. He's at the moment just looking to kind of block up Yapzor, but looks weird with the illusions. But no one to fall there. Everyone survives, and Quaker and Thug just back to laning in the mid lane. Thug still with Spartan sticking around, whereas Yapzor, he's had to head back. It looks like he's going to kill himself, as he did fall pretty low there in that fight.
He's had enough of that and will reset things up. Top lane, it looks like those open wounds. They're just being harassed down a bit. Madara able to do a bit better in lane now that the supports have been kept busy.
And a lot of trouble there potentially. One more touch from Madara, but he can't quite get it off, and now he's in trouble. He's already used the raids. They're just going to turn a lucid beam from Era and Escape Gaming take the kill. Second one in so far. And yeah, just frustrating for Alpha. They nearly had that with the Lifestealer, but the turnarounds there. And Madara proving to have a very tricky time up on this top lane. 9 for 1, falling behind. He's gone down, and Era taking the lead in the CS.
Yeah, it felt like the lane was starting to finally go better because of all the action at the top rune and mid.
Yeah.
And then he gets too aggressive going for a kill and completely throws away that stability that he'd found in the laning stage. So at Finem, if they get that kill, like, of course it's worth it, and that's where Luna had the sick charges, which were able to kind of keep her alive, but still a tough one for Finem, given the nature of how badly that top lane is going so far.
Spartan getting very close to dying there. That was up to tether away. Yep, so back towards the mid lane. Looks to bully Thug falling low, but has the confidence of his IO player behind himself at the ready.
Cancel that. Not going to get a chance to.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the chance to throw the ignite down. Well, all things said and done. Across the map, down bottom, the matchup going pretty evenly. Both heroes, Kezu and Skylark, getting the farm. No one falling behind here. The Iron Shell spam proving to not be too much for Kezu to deal with. I guess he can burst down the creeps and such.
From keeping an eye on the CS early on, Darkseer was well ahead the first couple of waves, but it looks like Kezu, now that he's got the 3 points in reactive armor, he's doing much better because he's got that regen. He actually is tanking Iron Shell, and with 3 reactive armor plus Spelling Blade, he's actually holding his own as far as farming in this lane. Missed Timber Chain, unfortunately, but not sure that was going to be a kill anyways.
Could be in a little bit of trouble now. Spartan's coming in with the balls now. Looks to chase down Kezu. He's got the 1 Timber. And Skylark now looking to continue to chase, searches out Spartan so they could continue to get the right clicks in, but indeed, just with this, 3 points in reactive armor, he's
25
fine.
HP regen a second, he's more than okay here. If anything, he's the one who can pose a threat to get some kills.
Yeah, nearly level 6, has the Mango ready to boot as well if he sees an opportunity to turn on Finem. Mid lane still. Again, even pretty much a little edge for Thug, has the slight edge in denies, but they're going to make it go on him. Yapzor, Quaker and Sin coming in with the Illuminate. Nicely done there as they burst down Thug in the mid lane. Pick up the 3rd kill so far this game. Escape Gaming, where it may be close in terms of CS, they're definitely coming out on top of just getting the rotations down. Be a bit of a go on to Era now. After him realizing there is an opening. Era, is he going to survive? He has 5 stick charges. He is going to pop them. It's not enough. As the poison comes through, MNT will take the kill. Finem getting themselves on the board and just abusing the fact that so much was going down in the mid lane. They knew that Era wouldn't have the backup.
Yeah. It's been pretty good movement from Escape, like ganking the mid lane when they saw the IO bottom, but then Finem do the same thing. Oh, the supports aren't here anymore. Let's get a kill up top on the solo Luna. So both teams making it good movements as far as recognizing when supports are missing, when carries are being unprotected. OD goes down, Luna goes down. Pretty even trade as far as those two players are concerned. Will be Kezu finding Luna now down bottom, which means Kezu kind of has to go to the off lane or rotate out of the lane. And one of the unfortunate things with this build, as much as it allowed him to go even on CS, he's not the best as far as Genki and rotating goes, has no points in Whirling Death, just the 2 in Timber Chain. His damage output isn't all that impressive.
Down bottom as well. As soon as the lane switch happens, Finem going rather aggressive in onto Era. Won't be able to dive. Sin TP's down. Backup will be there for Escape Gaming. And yeah, leaving the top lane at the moment, so we'll be interested to see where Kezu goes if he does indeed just look to try and find what he can from the top lane. Has the Soaring, as we saw, he had very good levels. Bottom lane again. Good illuminates from Sin, just causing a lot of annoyance for these supports. Spartan keeps taking the blast to the face.
Yeah, he's out of regen, no bottle charges, so that just kind of frees up that lane a little bit to ensure that Luna can get some safe, reliable farm down there. Will be Kezu TPing up top, so it looks like he feels confident that he can farm against the lifesteal SD lane, which is more than true. They haven't actually got a stun to stop his Timber Chain escape, so he can do more than all right up there.
Thug just trying to do his best at the moment to hold off this push for Qualifier and Yapso coming in onto the mid-tier 1.
Some good damage. It doesn't look like they'll get the full tower with this Dragon Form, but you get it down to about roughly a third HP, possibly even lower. And if you bring enough heroes, potentially you could even bring it down, so this is just good pressure from Escape, making sure they're getting value out of their DK ulti form.
Now he's going to make a bit of a go on to Thug here. He falls low, and he's going to be safe for the time being. Fine, maybe next time they'll come in with a 5 blast. That's enough. Spartan not able to save the OD there. Finem losing Thug.
With Luna, this actually likely is a tier 1 tower. Okay, DK ulti form wears off, so...
Yeah, and like I said, Sin with these illuminates. Constantly, arguably just one of the most aggressive calls I've seen in a while. You know, normally you expect to see them sitting back, maybe chopping out mana lead, stacking camps at this stage of the game, but Sin is all over the map and just illuminates.
This doesn't look good for Escape to hang around too much longer, though. They're not going to get the tower. ODD respawns. Syndering getting chased down. Has got a TP. He needs to juke in those trees, but it's a very common spot. He's TPing.
No, he's going for the Illuminate again.
The Illuminate, jeez. Not going to TP. He's going to throw his life. But...
Oh, he's a madman.
Yeah.
And he is indeed a dead man with the Astro coming through.
Could the TP, but I imagine he just thought he's dead 100% because SD scouts him with Shadow Poisons. OD has to vanish to cancel it, so not a bad idea just to go for that last bit of damage.
Nicely done there from Qualifier and Kezu. Hiding in the trees, getting the Dragon Tail off before there's any chance of a rage. Bursting down that Lifestealer. Down bottom as well, Eric could be in trouble. Being forced back under the tower by the Iron Shell creep. Falling very low as well. He's getting the curry out of him, out to him, so he's got that lifesteal. But Finem sending 3 down here. And maybe seeing what kind of plays they can go for. Era's still on his own bar.
He needs help here ASAP.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble there, Era. He has got the ult. He does try for it.
He can. He could have gone for a recast, but he was going to die so fast.
I was going to say, it's probably good that Skylight cancelled that.
Yeah. I don't see how that was going to work out well for him. He needed to just get out of that lane sooner. Once you realize this Darkseid's creep's giving the weight, they want to push the tower. He needs to vacate that lane, either TP out or multiple teammates need TP. And one TP is not enough. You need 3 or 4 heroes ready to fight down there. But Escape is still finding good trades. They've still got the pressure coming top lane. They took the tier 1. They're doing damage to the tier 2. Don't know if they can kill Timbersaw here. It'll be close.
Look at a fair bit of damage, a fair bit of punch for the surge up OD. They will look to continue to chase him down. Kezu trying to get out of here. That's a close one, but with the magical burst from that Astral, and even dropping the wall, I don't know if that was necessary. I think the Astral was enough, and it was on its own. So the wall, maybe just I don't know, a bit of a tall BM wall. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the wall did damage there, if it hits before the Astral damage. The wall itself, when you walk into it, does a decent, like, 100 damage or something, but... Sin won't make it.
All right, Sin.
Rough
I mean, this game is, yeah, at the moment, a bit all over the place. But both teams seem to be finding stuff in terms of farm, and no one really falling massively behind in terms of course. Obviously, the mid lane matchup, I guess, that's probably the biggest differentiation. Qualifier very much far ahead of the OD.
Yeah. He's found the kills. He's also found towers for his team. He took the tier 1 top tower with the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
The tier 1 mid tower's fallen, so he's really starting to give his team a big boost just through tower gold. That's something that Jacob kind of talked a lot about as far as Escape lineup advantages, and that's very much the ability to push towers, take objectives, get a gold advantage, and then just try and 5-man and snowball off of that. So I imagine we'll see Escape continue to look to use that DK ulti form where possible to push down objectives. OD is 2,000 net worth behind the DK. That's a huge, huge deficit.
A mech now complete for Skylark as well. So add Finem smoking and maybe trying to get Thug involved in some more of these fights, so we can kind of get that bit of a cash to get up on par with Qualifier. But Escape Gaming are smoking up as well.
With the mech is like one of their key item timings that they get pretty strong with. Curious to see they're going to fight around the life stealer. So
yeah, Kez in a lot of trouble there. Add Finem closing in on Timbersaw. He'll try and get himself. We'll get the initial chain off.
actually live. Whoa.
Looking to chase it. And yeah, Kezi's fine. He survives the four-man gang. Meanwhile, Escape Gaming looking to put pressure onto the tier 2 up on the top lane.
Their smoke doesn't find a kill, but it's going to find the tier 2 tower, and they push way faster than AdFinem do. You can see AdFinem, yeah, they're already TPing back. That TP ill-advised.
It has got the best stealer in. And out he jumps, but into the Eclipse, they are going to lose Skylark. One more touch and he's down. Madara trying to chase Era. Illumine comes through from Sim, but they've already lost 2 on AdFinem. Escape Gaming, they're more than ready to fight this defense that AdFinem had tried to form, but it is not working out. Ends up being an absolute disaster as they just end up feeding 4 kills, and more specifically a triple kill to Quaifa, who was already in an amazing place, and now it's even better for the Dragon.
It's an interesting fight because it looks like a really stupid TP initially, but then I realized, okay, it's got the life stealer infest, and it's not just a 2v4, it's a 4v4 because they bring in IO +1, so they relocate in IO and the OD, so it actually kind of evens the numbers out, but then it's the recall. Cinderin recalls the Timbersaw back up top, so they have numbers up there. Without that Timbersaw, this fight could have been a little more even, but Escape had everyone up there as early as possible. And they also just bursted down the easy-to-kill heroes first. They killed the Darkseid, then they killed the IO, then after that, worry about the life stealer.
Yeah, and it just feels like just with the iron progression in such a Thug, the damage is not there from Finem in comparison to what Escape Gaming have at this stage with the Luna, with the Aura, and of course the Timbersaw, the fact that Quake's so far ahead. It's going to be very hard for Finem to take those fights they do love to look for. You know, this is a team that loves to go for any opportunity to find that team fight, but here in this game, because of the sufferings of the laning stage, it's hitting them hard in these mid-game team fights.
They had some sustain, the Darkseid mech, and even just OD having levels like Astral, some good sustain. Shadow Demon has the save, so they have 2 spells that save, or actually 3 with the IO, but no damage output. The OD just doesn't have the items to dish out damage. Even Lifestealer himself is pretty underfarmed at this point. I mean, you look at the net worth, it looks like he's very underfarmed. He hasn't completed an armlet. Trying to take that fight without just an armlet on Lifestealer seems very ill-advised, and that's something where AdFinem really overestimated how strong they were.
There we go. AdFinem again. They want to fight. They really do. They've left the Lifestealer up top.
DK's got a blink here, so yeah, he'll find one.
Easy starts the fight by looks of this. Calm for a bit of a save. Defensive disruption onto himself. Menti keeping himself alive. Sabine comes in onto Skylark. Nice blinding light for Sinner and popping Skylark into the hands of Quaifa. Dragon Tail to follow through. Relatively tanky Darks here, but not tanky enough, as they'll take down Skylark. And again, Escape Gaming with their 3 cores beginning to sail ahead of 3 cores of AdFinem. This is absolutely fantastic opening for them here in the first 14 minutes. And one that's going to be quite tricky for AdFinem to turn around, it feels, in terms of the heroes they have.
Yeah, they don't farm particularly fast, Lifesteal as well as OD, so if anything, they're looking to take fights to try and turn this one around, fight with the Infest Bombs, find pickoffs. And I think pickoffs is probably the more appropriate approach to take. Like, any kind of team fight is going to be a lost cause with the advantage we see that Escape have. So if anything, you're trying to find isolated heroes. You see a Cuddle mid by himself, try and find that kill. You've got to try and use Relocate to find these kills.
And they have just Relocate to bring Thug in. Escape Gaming ready to fight with the Eclipse, already taken down a second. And now they're just turned. It's going to be a double kill, possibly the triple now. Ketsu's going to steal that one. Majara's tried to come in, but he's the last one left alive. They'll go for the Infest. He is inside Escape Gaming's creep, so they can't do anything about it for the time being. Let's see what the plan is here.
It looks like they may just push. They're like, screw it. The one he's in isn't in front. Let's just hit the tower. Aaron needs to be a little bit careful. He's fairly low here, and with respawns, Escape actually make a safe call and back off. They win that team fight convincingly. 4-0. Why push into what could be a tough fight against an AdFinem team that's about to respawn, and they'll even take some Ancients on their way out.
Yeah, now this stage, Keswick, with the Bloodstone complete. This looking like a tricky one for Finem. They'll drop a demonic purge onto Era, but there's not really much of a follow-up.
Attack.
A follow-up at all.
Double damage.
It's Finem. Need to. They obviously, we've seen in those last 3 engagements, they're the ones that are saying yes, we're ready to fight. But it feels like they maybe just overestimating their capabilities as a team in terms of items and how far the heroes have developed at this stage of the game in comparison to Escape Gaming to bring to these fights.
Yeah, it didn't go well at all those last couple of games. Despite using IO relocate, they had all the numbers there. They had their whole lineups coming into the engagements. All they've really got is a mech as far as teamfight utility goes, and as far as teamfight damage goes, items are just non-existent. So they need to just stop taking these poor fights. Finding kills is the way back in this game, but it's not through teamfights. You're behind this much, you've got to find the solo kills. Use the smokes to start a roam around. Like smoke with maybe like Darkseer, Shadow Demon or something, and then just have IO relocate in with an OD, or maybe the Lifestealer smokes with a Darkseer. You've got to find these small Genki units while the rest of your team farm, and then bring in the IO with the +1.
Yes.
They can't look to just keep on trying to brute force their way through Escape. Escape are much stronger than they are.
And again, Finem. They do have 3 members down here on this bottom lane, but you can see Escape Gaming sweeping through their own jungle, seeing if they can catch out any of the members. And they may just do so. They found Spartan, immediately jumped in from Quake, but the follow-up burst is there. And he's down, and Madara now, of course, he's just there with Scarlet. They'll land a nice vacuum wall onto 4. But again, Escape Gaming, they're already kitted out, ready for that kind of fight. They'll burst down Scarlet on the sidelines. Again, Madara having to hide inside one of Escape Gaming's units. It's just looking a little bit grim for Finem at the moment. It's been a long time since they've found any of the members of Escape Gaming in fights.
They're not wasting time, they just ignore the infest once again. Madara will pop out, but with a rage TP, not something.
He's not even going for the. Oh, now he's going for the TP.
Very late.
There's going to be a timing first. Oh, that timing.
Like,
Radiant's middle tower.
well played, Madara, to know that exact timing where the rage wore off as TP completed.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Rage lasts for years.
That's like a kind of play I've tried to make before, and then I'll completely f it up, and I'm like, oh, whoops,
times,
my TP got cancelled. What happened? Like you do it as a jug too. Blade Fury TPing. You're like, oh, I won't TP as soon as the Blade Fury starts. I'll wait till the creep wave's dead. Nope, you're dead. Your TP got cancelled. But oh god, just seeing the net worth is just ugly right now between the two teams. Team Bloodstone charges from the Timbersaw. Kezu's in great shape. Era's the one character that seems to be getting focused down a bit, but even he's out farming every Finem player. You look at mid. Well, speaking of Era's rough time, it continues, I guess.
Yeah, nice little play there from Finem.
That's what they're going to do. Find the soul picks. We've been saying it for a while now. They've got to find the solid pickoffs. That's a 600 gold kill just for one Luna, who's not the top net worth hero by any means.
No.
1400 gold swing. Easy. Oh, and possibly another kill, but that was the TP cancel.
Neatly played by Sin. Straight out after the vacuum. No other way that they could stop that. And they do not have what Echo say about from Madara. But over on the side of Escape Gaming, Sin's picked up a smoke. And Gyapsol now has a 4-staff to help himself in these fights. But Escape Gaming, I mean, we saw obviously back in the qualifiers glimpses of this kind of performance in some of the games where Escape Gaming, if they get the draft right, if they get the laning stage right, they are an incredibly scary lineup to go against.
And their qualifier one was definitely one of the more unlucky ones as far as being a team who'd been playing high-level Dota for a while and just didn't quite win the BO1 they needed to. And one of the things where the format maybe just hurting them a bit, also the fact they've played so many games, they're perhaps just feeling that fatigue a bit. Last time they versed that Finem in the TI qualifiers, they're the ones who knocked them out 2-1, so Escape's definitely not a team you can ever underestimate.
Oh, and Qualifier, he's stunned him up, taken him down there with the boys on Escape. Spartan going out to the side, but they're not interested in him. They're interested in Madara.
They ping him.
He has got Rage TP though. Oh, the BM's stunned.
Doink.
He did call for pause quite before. I think it's evident that Madara's having issues.
He called for the pause, but he could have paused the game. He didn't pause the game. You know?
I mean,
that's fine.
if you get the chance to stun him, you're going to stun him.
Look,
I mean,
if the game's not paused and you find the life, they don't know that he's paused because of the life stealer. You know, Qualifier just thinks he's found the life stealer there. And if
I don't blame
If life
Qualifier.
steal is
You see the unit, you stun the unit.
that's-
But I'm saying this could be because Madara, that's a little bit out of character,
Yeah.
kind of just goes to the side.
he almost looked
not
like he's
rage
because he
TP.
could have rage
He could have
TP
rage
long
TP.
ago. Yeah.
That's the thing.
With an eclipse,
Oh.
that could be a kill as well.
Yeah, that's the question. Does he actually get out now if he rages after the Dragon Tail stun?
It's probably
They've got a lot of damage, but with Armlet, Qualifier, and Error there. So
He's
I
got
think it's going to be a hard
1600
call.
HP. It's close. Hard to say. I'm
Yeah, well,
not a
turn the Armlet
mathematician.
on,
I'm just a Dota
rage,
caster.
TP.
Well, I think the way they kill him is
Okay,
if they eclipse right away.
Yes.
And get him before he rages.
Let's see
Like get
what
like
they-
a
let's see
good
what they
3 or
do.
4 beams.
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
they're eclipsing.
There eclipse.
There he
No,
died.
it does it.
Yeah.
It does it. So, Escape gave no mercy from these
Well,
boys.
you got to stun right away.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. You're a DK versus life steal. Getting the stun before rage
Oh,
is
yeah,
the way
yeah,
you
no, of
play.
course. And you're right, Finem could have paused himself. If it, I mean, maybe it wasn't Madara. Maybe that was just Madara making a
I think it was
mistake.
being polite, saying like pause before he actually pauses to give Escape notice that they're about to pause. But who knows who was lagging? Who knows what was going on? Either way, I'd Finem lose another a key hero at that, and it will be a straightforward Roshan. Yeah, it's still a straightforward Roshan. Don't know what that was.
Well, that was, yeah, it was with the ward up there. Yeah, Yap forced him in. He saw the armor, like,
nice,
okay,
nice,
here you come.
Well played, well
Yeah,
played.
see. Oh dear. All right, well, there you have it.
It looks like the
Aegis
eye
on
was just like flying in himself.
I was
into
like,
the
what, did he
roach. I was
just
like, okay.
tear the roach yet?
Yeah, it was literally
Like,
intended
what?
to, so
Yeah, it didn't.
nicely
No.
played by Yappy.
Yeah.
Gets his team another kill, gets his team a bigger lead, and Escape cruising.
They really are. I mean, it's over 10k net worth. They have Aegis on Era. Very much ready for the next fights. Thug still trying his best to catch up. He's level with Madara, but still very much behind the cause of Escape Gaming. Another couple of fights though, and if Finem are able to swing them in their own favour, they could certainly close that gap. But it's looking hard. As Escape Gaming just
Dyer's bottom tower
pretty
is under
tight performance so far.
And it's always, when you're ahead like this, sometimes
Yeah.
the split push can be annoying, but that's where having Cuddle recalls very useful. Means you can have a Luna or some hero pushing out a lane, and yeah, they could be a little bit worried about getting picked off, but they can always be recalled back to the push, so
Yeah.
we've seen Sin use the recall very well this game so far. The fight at top lane where he pulled back in the Timber Saw, he pulls an Error there. Error was just farming the jungle, trying to get some more items up, and able to maintain some level of farm while going for towers. Now he's going to recall in the Timber, it looks like. Just make sure everyone's good and ready to go.
Yeah, maybe with the Aegis they can try for something a little bit more than a tier 2. And we'll see how much they want to try and get done. They've got a good duration left on the Elder Dragon for Escape Gaming. I think they're very much ready to take this up onto the tier 3. What is Finim's response going to be? Madara trying to go in with the open runes. Immediately a defensive disrupt. Astral onto himself. So he's already falling down to half health. They'll drop the wall. Demonic Purge onto Quaifa. Quaifa taking a serious amount of damage here from Madara, falling relatively low. He may be able to arm the toes, keep himself alive. Looks like he won't need to even do that at the moment. He's able to get himself just far enough away to stop Madara from chomping down on it.
Now the question for Escape is more the sustain if they go for a push. They don't have a mech. They don't have an Ag Scepter on Coddle. That's all the other Armor's looking for. He's going for the 4-staff as well, so they don't even have an Urn of Shadows, it looks like, which means just having any kind of sustain for the push is somewhat limited. But Yapster sees the struggles as far as the high ground push goes, and while sustain items are a bit pricey, he just picks up a casual medallion. He can turn this into the Solar Crest, putting it on the DK when he's pushing high ground can go a long way.
He needs a lot of help.
That's been ages.
It does. The question is if they can take him down twice. That's once.
They take the one kill and run, I assume,
They're
but
sticking around. They really want to do it. Madara looking to lead forward, coming in across the tree line. Vacuum actually brings Japzor in. Rage up on Madara, but Kezu already bursting down Io on the back line. Shackle's going to miss MNT. Thug comes in with a big sanity to blow up Error. Take down a second. In fact, they may get Quaifa as well. He'll be astraled up. I think the Astral Damage itself will kill him, and it will indeed. That's going to be a triple kill for Thug. Kezu, he'll have to kill himself here. It's at Finem, taking an absolutely perfect fight, giving them the real kick that they need to bring themselves back up to par with the position that Escape Gaming got themselves into. A 6k gold swing, maybe even more. They can take this tier 2 in a great fight for Thug, getting him a lot of money and bringing him right back into the game on the OD.
yeah, just ballsy play, sticking around, not hesitating to go for that second kill on the Luna. It looked like it's kind of, you're so close to the enemy tower there. I feel like the safe play that most teams are going to make is, hey, let's back off. They're by a tower. This is going to turn into a 5v5 fight. We're behind them. It's not going to go well, but I believe Adfinem just kind of recognized that the DK was still really low on HP. He wasn't actually able to fight. He still got recalled into the fight, like on a 5th HP. He was just free food for Adfinem, and Thug got off a really nice ultimate on Luna. Luna, who just doesn't quite have the items to fight, particularly into an OD, not having a BKB, means that he doesn't really match up all too well post Aegis. He can't just like BKB and fight or BKB ulti. He still had to run, and he couldn't run fast enough.
One more of those fights going that way, and Finem will definitely swing this game back into their hands, as we see just how much of a gap closer that last engagement was. Thug sitting in on 2.8k gold straight up in his pocket at the moment, and that's with a Hurricane Pike complete as well. So Thug looking very, very good for himself. I mean, what do you think he gets now with this influx of gold? What is the item after the Hurricane Pike? Any game where you know, it's 21-10 in 25 minutes, there's a lot of fighting.
I like the Shivers a lot. It's a good AoE slow. It's also good at negating some of the physical damage output of Escape. The Luna and DK just will attack that much slower into the Shivers aura, so it seems like a pretty stable item pickup. It's not, you know, you're going to get some good value out of it. It's not like as big of a game winner as maybe something like a Hex can be. But Hex is also an item where if your OD gets initiated on, you may not get a good chance to use it. So the Shivers to me is like the safe pickup. Something like a Hex is the more kind of higher risk but higher reward item.
Yes. Talking about Shivers, there's one already done now.
Okay.
For Skylark.
Maybe not going double Shivers then, now they've got one.
No.
Perhaps consider something like the Hexes, as said. Blink or a BKB is also possible. Against Timbersaw Luna, BKB is very good too, so.
Madara actually jumping out onto Era, making a bit of a go. We get open wounds to the Rage. Era will manage to start the open wounds off, but the relocate covers it on the backlines, but actually immediately take down Io. Era going in with the Eclipse, looking for Madara, but he jukes it out into the tree line. He's going to get himself out with the TP. So at the moment, Finem only to lose the the Io. They may be about to lose the OD as well, though, as they come in and crush him down. Qualifier picking up the double kill. So Finem, this time those kind of plays don't pay off, and Escape Gaming just showing us a bit more of what they were able to achieve earlier, just outclassing Finem in Finim's attempts to find these pickoffs with the relocate.
Feels like there's been a sudden step up in Qualifiers damage output, having the level 16 with the Hyperstone, even more points in Bloodlust now, since he initially went for the max ignite. We're just seeing that Bloodlust start to kick in, that he's maxed it out. The DK is becoming a real big carry threat, and the reason he didn't do damage in the last one is because they were pushing high ground, so he was getting initiated on, he didn't get any attacks off. If Quick was actually attacking in these fights, Escape are having good outcomes.
And if anything, that was a bit of shining, a silver lining to that last fight, was the fact that Madara was able to get out in the tree line. And Era was searching for him with that Eclipse, and Madara is able to slip away. Bottom lane, Escape Gaming ready to come in with another bit of a push onto the bottom lane of Finem, onto the tier 2. Let's see if Finem want to do anything about this. They've got OD back up. Thug ready to join his team if they want to try and fight this. Madara looking to poise himself very aggressively, goes in onto Kezu. Kezu timid away, he'll turn towards Yapzor, hit the Echo Saber, slow hit off. So I like jumping in with the Shiva's Guard, vacuums back Yapzor, one touch from Thug and he's down. Thug actually got the BKB, so great for these fights. Limited amounts that Escape Gaming can do to him. Thug will drop the sanities, turn towards Kezu, one more touch and Kezu will be out. So it's a 2-for-1 at the moment, double kill for Thug. Qualifier with the Dragon Tail on Skylark, but there we have it, the defensive Astral and Thug and the boys looking to turn it around. Skylark's going to live. Thug picks up the triple kill. And again, Finem, it's this kind of 25 to 30 minute timing where everything seems to come together for the lineup. The team play comes online.
It's also a bit questionable for Escape to fight without their dragon, you know. It's like Daenerys in Game of Thrones. Let's go into battle without my dragons. Oh, that's not smart. DK without ulti form there. He's a melee hero. He doesn't have the AoE splash. He doesn't have the cold attack. That is not smart for Escape to pick a fight given those circumstances. Once the fight starts, they have no choice but to take it because Finem have such good chase with the IO relocate, with the Darkseer Surge, the OD's
Vacuum, Shiva's Guard.
He's got Blink and Hurricane Pipe. Well, he didn't have the Blink for that fight, to be fair, but they've got great chase. So that just means that Escape are committed to the fight once it begins, but they shouldn't be in a position where Finem are going. Finem knew that the DK ultimate was down from the fight in the Radiant Jungle, so they were more than happy to take that. Without the DK ulti form, Lifestealer just wreaks havoc. OD has such a better time. Everyone just, all their heroes were just so much more effective because of that lack of DK ulti form.
Error with 2.2k gold. Blink now for Skylark. But this is, it certainly feels impressive nonetheless to see how Finem just, in the last few fights, kind of consistently getting these triple kills and such for Thug when they were falling behind. You know, Escape Gaming at the start, they're having a pretty brilliant opening to this match. But Finem showing us how much they can do in terms of just working together as a team, even when they are behind in resources. Now Yapzor, he's going to be opened up upon, bursted down. That's the first kill here for Finem. Qualifier looking at the turn with the BKB, trying to go on MNT, but the Glimmer Cave's there. MNT able to walk it off. And now, well, Thug's just going to start pounding into Qualifier. Jones forward with the blink. Eric coming in from the sidelines with the Eclipse. Kezu under fire. Eric trying to man fire against Magara. Magara trying to go 1v1. He takes it, but he does lose his life. Escape Gaming, though, they've already lost 3. There's still 3 healthy fighting for Finem.
So
4
much
down. Thug looking to chase down Kezu. Kezu looks like he may just get himself away. But indeed, Thug in these fights, absolutely massive.
Still looking for him, not going to find.
He's got the blink again.
OD had about 56 stolen in by the end of that.
Still does.
You can see there how much he managed to do, how strong he was getting those auto attacks off the Arcane Orb, just starting to rack up the damage for him, and had Finem get some nice jumps. They really did a great job of just kiting the BKB, and then once it's worn off, they just focus him down. We're getting to that point where the DK's BKB is getting kind of short, and that's definitely a concern and worry.
Especially against the damage that Thug's doing, as you said. And I think what's really good about this showing so far is that this was a Thug that he was crushed in lane. You know, they were throwing Yapzor, Ogre, Magites at him. He was, I think it was about, I can't remember, before the 10-minute mark, he was over 2,000 gold behind Qualifier. But just through the way that these fights have played out, he's been able to pick himself up, get himself right back up there. As you can see, you know, 24 minutes in, Escape Gaming, 14k ahead. Now it's all slipping right back down into the hands of Finem. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to see more of Finem coming up in the Boston Major. And it's good to know that this is a team that you can't put them down at the start, because they'll always be ready to kick back at you.
Yeah, Finem had just picked and taken their fight very wisely this game. They've used their 2 save tools in the Banish as well as the Disruption very well. I say they've got a 3rd in the IO, but the IO's been mostly aggressively relocating, but like that's how they cut the DK BKB well. They can Astral whoever he's focusing, they can disrupt them. So the way the SD and OD work together is really nice, because if one of them's ever being initiated on, the other can then help them out by putting them under. So Finem have really limited Escape's ability to find kills in these fights, and Escape, they've really got to try and get to that back line, take out the IO fast, take out the SD fast, because those are the squishier, easier kills to get, and they need to take advantage of that.
Here we have Finem, ready to look for those objectives themselves. At the moment it's been kind of fight. Very much then waiting for Escape Gaming to push. Now they've more than enough got the strength to take down some towers themselves. Tier 1 off the top lane, and immediately just moving down for the Tier 2. And earlier the question, of course, was whether Finem could stop the push of Escape Gaming, and now the game kind of turns on its head, and we're going to have to see if Escape Gaming can stop Finem just powering down their lanes at this stage.
Well, it's 2 straight towers. DK is just sitting around that top lane like, team, I'm ready to defend high ground if they go for it, but this is not a fight I can lead on my own, and will be Escape lingering around this bottom lane. They're being pinged out, so they need to be careful not to get caught out here.
I mean, at this pace as well, as the game goes on, Lifestealer, OD up against kind of DK, Luna in terms of cores late game, is there a favourable side, or can both stand toe-to-toe pretty strong?
Luna's just feeling like a little bit too underfarmed right now. As far as how the cores match up, OD very good against the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight, though does remain quite relevant late game because of the short cooldown on the Dragon Tail. It has very high uptime, which means you can constantly spam those stuns out, but you're versing Magic Immunity on Lifestealer, OD with a BKB, so BKB usage is going to probably dictate how the fights go. If you pop a BKB on a Dragon Knight or OD, you need to dish out a lot of damage during that duration, so I'd say both lineups can go decently late, but it's going to come down more just to the BKB usage, which it's a lot easier for Finem to use theirs because they're not versing Banish, Astral Imprisonment. Finem having those spells in the late game gives them, to me, a small edge.
Finem, Skylark, holding Madara deep
Dire's
inside him.
bottom tower is under attack.
And ready to go down the mid by the looks of it. Kezu with the point boost looks like he will indeed be opting for the Acronyms board this game after the Bloodstone Shivas.
Radiant's middle tower.
And it certainly feels like he'll need it, just having that extra weight there, because it's getting a little bit messy for Escape Gaming. And Finem looking to clear the final tier 2 off the map from Escape Gaming's side. And Escape Gaming at the moment just spamming out the Illuminates. We'll see if they decide to commit any heavier to try and slow this one down. Throw out a blinding light. Oh, nice force from Yap, so bringing Madara in, but a quick rage to make sure the Dragon Tail isn't there. Tower will fall, more money into the bank of Thug. And now Finem holding their ground and may even go for more with the Aegis still online on OD.
Yeah, unfortunately the life's still low and not great sustain for them either.
Yep.
And they've got the Dark here with the mech, at least they've got the Io, but he's got to just use through his bottle charges. It looks like they'll back off, regroup, wait for the OD Hex, and pinging Mystic stuff I think means that his Hex is just about complete.
Yeah, there we have it.
And with the Sheep Stick up, they can now find pickoffs on these heroes with BKB. You can jump the Timbersaw, the DK, the Luna, because you get that insta-hex and take out those BKBs from the equation.
There's an Aghanims SD to worry about as well in the mix. MNC.
This item just destroys a lot of these heroes. You get rid of the Luna bouncing glaives and bonus damage. You get rid of the Timbersaw passive, at least as far as he gets to keep his Dragon Blood armor.
Yeah.
You get to keep your already built up reactive armor, but you don't get any additional ones. So if you use it very early on, he gets no reactive armor. But Luna is probably the most wrecked by this, and DK gets second most wrecked.
Wow, running with on the Eclipse onto the Dark Side. They'll actually take Skylark out of the fight. The Hex from Thug, lock it down, Error. They'll take care in quick response. And Finem, see if they can find something more. Qualifiers coming in from the sidelines. Point from BKB, focusing Madara at the moment with the Dragon Tail. Madara falling low, he's going to be taken down. They've lost 3 on Finem. Escape Gaming this time round, finding the fight of their lives, able to turn around for Thug. Drops the sanities, picks up a triple kill. Oh, he will go down the Aegis. Oh, it just expired.
That's like your worst nightmare as a carrier. You hear the noise. You hear the dun dun noise,
It's
and it's like,
it's
oh
Satan's
shit.
phone call. It's ringing up. It's like boom, and then you
When you're low HP in a team fight and you hear that noise, you know you're in trouble.
Thug.
And that was just Escape finding at Finem in a very kind of chaotic place where they couldn't predict. Darkseid starts off getting picked off. Speaking of picked off, Io gets annihilated.
They haven't got any buybacks apart from the OD.
It was a very strange way to see our first racks go down, because it really just happened because Adfin couldn't position well. Like Shadow Demon got cut off. They didn't get any value out of his Ag Scepter. Now they do,
here comes
though.
MNC. Looking to clean up this side, gets the Hex down.
Yep.
Alright, so they managed to force them out. Does cost them the OD buyback, but they keep the racks alive.
It's worth it to save the rack there. Unfortunately, it does hurt OD's eye progression a little bit, but he's just completed the Hex, so he's still
he's already so far
where he
away.
needs to be.
Yeah, he's already in a great place, so it's not the worst of things, but yeah, that Aegis timing.
It felt like the fight that Adfin should win too. They just picked up the SD Aghanim Scepter, which is a big boost in their itemization, but again, Escape just felt like they found finally what they needed in getting a better initiation than Adfinem. Adfinem had been the ones getting the better jump. This time around, no Darkseer in the fight. And also just no SD. They killed the SD pretty quickly afterwards too, so that also helped out a lot.
I mean, I guess you could argue the thing was there what Adfinem had already lost 3, so even if the Aegis hadn't timed out, maybe Escape Gaming could have killed him twice anyway.
Yes. So, it was what, Timber and DK. Yeah, they definitely killed him. Without BKB, they stun him up. Timber has Aghanim Scepter or something. Timber is absolutely huge. So
as unfortunate as it was, maybe it wasn't as that big changing. But there we have indeed, Luna, Error. Well, as you said, maybe not where he wants to be in terms of farm on the Luna. Maybe when you see a Luna picked up in this lineup, you'd expect it to be, I mean, for instance, not necessarily behind a Lifestealer at this stage. You need him ahead of the Lifestealer.
Yeah, they didn't really prioritize Error too much, and Kezu takes a lot of the farm on the map just because he's a Timbersaw, not because he's being greedy or doing badly. Like, you see how farmed he is, and you're like, yeah, I'd like my Timbersaw to have that kind of net worth at 38 minutes, but he's pushing out lanes, and that's giving Luna less place to farm. And also when Luna is farming, you have to farm deeper in the map where you're more exposed, so that is, those two are kind of connected as far as it is. I mean, even the DK, that's another hero that wants a lot of farm. There's not enough farm to go across the board for all 3 of these cores to have 20k net worth.
Oh, they want to fight up in him, and they go with a relocate straight onto Error. He pops the BKB, but the damage is too much with the Demonic Purge from MNT. They'll take Error out, down and on the sidelines for a minute.
He did 0 with his right clicks there. There was no bouncing glaives. There was no Luna Aura. That was just a little hidden.
It's a man without buyback as well. I believe he did just pick up the talisman from the secret shop.
Yep.
So going in on the purchase, and that's going to mean that buyback is not available for this map. Push in from AdFinem down the mid lane. We'll see how much they can get away with. We obviously saw Escape Gaming making attempts earlier for the racks, wasn't successful. See if AdFinem have a bit more better luck still. And of course the second Demonic Purge up and available for MNT. He's nearly going to have the second charge on top of that as well in a second. BKB is done for Kezu. So Kezu, he's got a lot of items. He's in a great place. We'll see if there's going to be enough though to stop these kind of pushes. Madara, maybe thinking about manning up. Kezu will jump forward. Not the heading of his spells though to turn around, and Madara goes in with the open wounds, dives back he wanted to, but immediately forcing himself out. Kezu points the BKB, looking to turn onto Skylark. Chakram comes out, hits the slow, onto Tugger's spot on the back of it, and looks to be enough to scare AdFinem off. So they will manage to hold the base, as we're seeing, of course, Kezu at this stage can kind of roll around on the front lines. Very hard for AdFinem to control and take down this Timbersaw at the mass that Kezu has assumed.
He's that scary frontliner that AdFinem just can't really easily deal with right now. The OD theoretically can, but you don't want to be engaging into the front lines too much as an OD. It's kind of a scary proposition with your BKB getting kind of shorter and shorter as the game goes on. The DK stun, the Eclipse. Luna was just out to respawn when AdFinem backed off. They were really respecting that Luna respawn when they didn't force the issue going for the racks. They're happy just with the tier 3 tower for now.
Escape Gaming actually smokes up. We'll see if they do find anything. It's going to come off. They will reveal themselves at the least in terms of suspending the smoke. And the question is if AdFinem want to come out and try and find them. They're staying behind their racks on the mid lane at the moment.
They've actually got the Solar Crest to go with the Talisman of Evasion, so they're really trying to capitalize on OD and Lifesteal and not wanting to build MKBs. Neither hero naturally builds in. I mean, OD doesn't build into it all. Lifestealer can, but it's not really ideal. I'm to have to buy as a Lifestealer. OD more likely build something like a Bloodthorn.
Hello, they're ready for this one. Immediately jumping in onto the Dark Seer. Defensive disruption coming through. Keeping Skylark alive, and with the Lotus Storm, he's going to be fine again. The defensive Astral, and that's allowing them to just move in. Thug drops the sanity, but Kezu comes through massive amounts of damage as he bursts down the SD, turns towards Spartan. Spartan able to get himself away, but it doesn't matter. He still ticks out. They've lost 2. AdFinem is going to buy back on those, but Escape Gaming, they've got the bigger casualties at the moment. 3 down, 2 at the course, quite for an error. Dead at the moment, no buyback available. And with these buybacks, AdFinem know they can go for something big. Yapso try for the TP out. Is it going to make it? Thug gets the touch in. A force down on Escape Gaming. Kezu trying to escape. Looks like he'll get himself away. He's kind of got to hold the fort at the moment. Was AdFinem with the full lineup back up due to those buybacks. And Escape Gaming, they have a buyback available on the Era, but Quaker, Yapso and Sin are going to have to watch this siege from the sidelines.
Yeah, and even with like a Quake for respawn in 30 seconds, he'll be respawning without the Dragon form, so not going to be easy for him to even offer much until that cooldown comes back up. And Kezu is kind of on his own at this point as far as fighting and defending goes. Looking like a
fight through backdoor protection to jump in. Hex onto Kezu, the man who's been pretty much unkillable, is just going to be ripped to shreds just like that.
5v1 will do that for him, and looking like it should be a Rax, but possible buyback from Timbersaw could repel AdFinem.
Madara seeing if he can find Cinder and see if he can get a lock onto it. Trying to take the attention away from the mid lane. Maybe let his team go back into the fight. The team on a fight. Jump in with the vacuum. Hex up onto Era. Era taken down again. Down for 70 seconds. Quaker, he'll be turned upon. Well, now with the break, this Dragon's Foot gone. So much damage coming out. And again, the second Demonic Purge onto Yapso, holding at the sidelines. But Madara, he's got to turn his attention towards Kezu. Kezu's trying to go in the BKB with the initial play. Holds him back. Lifestealer chunking down onto Kezu. Turning across. He's looking to try and finish off Doug. Doug taking a couple of chakras to the face, but the defensive Astral is there. Kezu's starting to fall relatively low. And again, the vacuum from Skylark onto 3. Kezu's going to change across Doug. He's fight though. Escape Gaming lose a third. And AdFinem turn their attentions back towards the objectives. Only Sind and Yapso left alive, and that's only for the time being. As Madara comes in, first hit bash, a good fire blast, triple multi-cast holds Madara back. As Yapso will save Sind's life.
That OD was just so low, Kezu's trying to kill him. He astrals himself into disruption on himself, into another potential astral. He's just got unlimited save between these 2 spells. The astral cooldown combined with the disruption while it's on cooldown means that he's like permanently banished, and AdFinem, they've been behind in gold for most of the game, have found a way to break through the racks. They'll probably end up on top in terms of net worth, but It has been a somewhat uphill battle for them, but they've managed to turn this game around and looks like take the win here. Mega Creep's very close to being acquired, and Escape have to come up with a miraculous team fight.
Trying to go on to Madara, but there's a relocate from Spartan ready to come in and help the boy. 3-man active again from Skylark. Hughes Sam's clips coming in. Boyfoot will try and turn. Control Thug, and they'll actually manage to take him down. He's down for 107 seconds. Of course, no buyback available. Boyfoot moving in onto Skylark. Can they finish off something else here? Escape Gaming again with a multi-card. Shapso getting lucky. It's all just skill. Takes down the Darks here.
And SD Escape.
With that newly found blink,
they can't afford to lose him. He has no buyback. If he dies, the potential Escape 5-man push mid could be devastating, but doesn't look like they'll catch Shadow Demon. And OG's buyback has come back up just soon enough. It was the supports, the SD and the Aya, who'd used their buyback, so those were the precious heroes to try and keep alive, and they did manage to not go down there in the end. So Escape, not even attempting a push mid to force those buyback. It seems they're just happy to have kept themselves in this game by protecting their last final lane of racks in the top lane.
It's, well, you said you want a loss of fighting. We're certainly getting it, it feels like at the moment. Both teams going all out on these engagements. Sin has to be a little bit careful here, as Madara be happy trying to find this. The question is if they can actually punish Madara for coming this far down the lane.
That's a rage. Can they go on him with the Luna? There's an Aya relocated. It's so dangerous.
Oh, okay, he leaves the creep alive.
Cheeky.
He's a smart man. Yeah, nothing that Escape Gaming could do about that, apart from follow the creep down if they want to try and go on it. But indeed, worried that there may be backup from Finem there in time. Now Finem's going to have the full team back up in 10 seconds with Thug returning to the map. And Madara now has that MKB available, so Solar Crest, Butterfly, Blinding Light, not going to be an issue anymore for this Lifestealer.
Yeah, it's a good life for him for this upcoming team fight. And at Finem, with 4 racks advantage, they can play it safe and slow, wait for Roshan. It is up now, but perhaps waiting to see what Escape do, whether they're defending their other lanes or going to try and take it a fight around the pit themselves.
That's what happened to it.
Scout illusions, I guess, and play it safe. Find Escape on the map first. Get all the information you can. They've got Disruptor's illusions. They scout out probably the enemy jungle, probably around the pit. Just get the intel and then use that intel to decide whether you take Roche yourself.
They're jumping in and going straight for Roche. Kez is actually TP'd out of this one to clear out the mid lane. They won't have Timber for this. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you are correct, yeah. But it's, whatever happens is too late. Finem just ripped Roshan to pieces. And the rest of Escape Gaming trying to get themselves out. Yep, so immediately with the TP. But again, Finem finding the objectives, and Escape Gaming just seeming to be a step behind at this stage.
Yeah, Escape just weren't ready for how fast Finem killed Roche there. It looked like they just hugged the cliff to get into the pit. Even though there's that Radiant Ward at the bottom rune spot, it felt like just Escape didn't really recognize what was going on, or at least didn't feel confident to fight it, and now they're fighting into an Aegis to try and defend their last lane of rack. That is a daunting task for this team.
Kezu. He is actually the focus at the moment from from Finem, sorry. He's hiding in the trees. I'm trying to jump forward and find him, but he easily just blinked. Watts is out. Finem will just work this lane back over onto the side of Escape Gaming's map. Escape Gaming smoked up and ready for action. They will be fighting into an Aegis though, so quite a ballsy play potentially here coming out from Escape Gaming, and
they probably feel like
it pays off.
Yeah, they have to catch him by surprise when they're not ready or positioned right. They want to catch the SD ideally. He's the biggest problem here in the fights with the Ags pick, as well as the disruption save, so they're going to be looking for him. Unfortunately, it looks like his positioning in those trees on the left side is going to be very difficult to get to. That's also good.
Yeah, that's the eye out of the fight. Skylar comes in though with the 3-man vacuum, drops the wall as well. MNC coming in for the backlines. One demonic purge down onto Qualifier. Qualifier trying to bring down Skylar. The Eclipse will help out. They'll take down Darkseer once, but he's the man with the Aegis. He's back for round 2. Thug Astrally himself taking massive amounts of damage from air, but the to play it down onto the Luna era, toggling away with the Mantle Star, tries to turn, but the bashes are real from Madara. a third to be dropped on the side of Escape Gaming. And Finem did end up losing both supports and the life stealer. Qualifier at the moment actually having to hang back. He does not have a TP, so he's got to walk his way back to base. No buyback on Yaps or Sind or Era, so the racks are open for business as Finem compiling down this top lane. The jump in is there, hexed up. Kezu trying to timber again away, but the bash comes through. Finem to take another, and with Escape Gaming being Mega Crew now at this stage, it could pretty much all be over here in game one. As Finem hitting hard, Escape Gaming looking to keep this and may try for one final fight, but already the tier 4's under siege. There's no holding back for Finem now.
Yeah, this is almost surely it. The Luna just doesn't have the items to turn around a game like this. The DK as well is just down to that 5-second BKB. They're being picked apart one by one. Escape falling as they try and defend their high ground. They had such a good start. They had such a solid lead off of all the towers they were taking. It was like a 12-13k gold lead at one point. But a couple of bad fights, fighting when they didn't have certain ultimate, has really cost them.
They're stunned up Madara in the fountain. And he has to get his way now. He's down. And here we go, baby. A bit of a attempt to the comeback hit. The folks back up to full health. His turnaround. Hex the wall again, and that will be quite put down. Has a buyback though. They're focusing on Tiap, so Kezu coming in with the BKB, drops the 2 Chakram, Spartan tethers himself across them, and MNT's in trouble. He's got to be defensively astral. Madara's come back through the damage. Too much though for Escape Gaming. Error with the Eclipse, trying to turn this, but again, the fact from Madara, can Error do it? He's on the low. He's actually pulling through. He's actually managed to survive, but finally fall. I mean, you've got to give Escape Gaming credit. They are fighting to the last moment as the creeps will finally finish up the H and add for them to take the victory. But both teams going all out there. A bit of a spectacle, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a